That night, I never planned to touch the piano. I was just there to do my job. Fix the sound system, stay unnoticed, and leave before anyone important learned my name. For years, that's how I lived. Show up, repair what others depend on, and disappear. Invisibility is a skill you learn when life teaches you that being seen usually comes with consequences you can't afford. The building was one of those glass monuments to money, the kind that reflects the city instead of belonging to it. Outside, winter pressed down on the streets, but inside, everything was warm, polished, and controlled. Executives laughed too loudly, glasses clinked, and deals floated through the air disguised as small talk. I moved through it all in my work clothes, a ghost with a toolbox, already forgotten by people who hadn't even noticed me yet. Then the sound system failed. 1 second there was music. The next, an awkward silence spread through the room like a virus. Heads turned, faces tightened. I felt that familiar pressure settle on my shoulders, the unspoken demand that someone like me fix the problem, and fix it now, so the illusion could continue. I told my supervisor the truth. This would take time. Too much time for people who believed patience was something they could outsource. That's when I saw it, the piano. It sat unused at the edge of the stage, immaculate, expensive, more a symbol than an instrument. I hadn't played in years, not since life demanded practicality over beauty, but my hands remembered. They always did. Before I could overthink it, before fear could talk me out of it, I sat down. I didn't play something safe. I didn't play to impress them. I'd played the song I wrote when I was young, back when believing in the future felt natural instead of foolish. A song born in a tiny apartment, written for a woman I thought would walk beside me through whatever came next. A song that carried hope, regret, and a promise I tried to keep long after everything fell apart. The room changed. Conversations stopped. Glasses froze mid-air. People who spent their lives insulated from discomfort were suddenly forced to feel something they could unbuy or control. I didn't look up until the last note faded into the silence. When I did, I saw her. She was standing on the balcony above the crowd, gripping the railing as if the ground had just shifted beneath her. Power, confidence, reputation, none of it mattered. She just looked like someone who had heard a voice from a past she buried so deep, she never thought it could answer back. I knew she recognized the song. No one else could have. The party music resumed soon after, swallowing the moment like it never happened, but she didn't return to the crowd. A few minutes later, an assistant found me and said I was expected upstairs. My supervisor protested. I ignored him. I had lived through worse than losing a job. Her office overlooked the city, all sharp lines and expensive restraint. She didn't turn around when I entered. When she finally did, the years had changed her, but not enough to erase the woman I once loved. Silence stretched between us, heavy with everything unsaid. "You played something that doesn't belong to you," she said, her voice steady. "I wrote it," I replied. "Years ago." She denied it at first. Of course she did. The lie had been polished over time, reinforced by success, by trust placed in the wrong person. She told me her husband had created it, that it was the foundation of his career, of their life together. So I told her the truth. Dates, places, proof I never thought I'd need but could never bring myself to destroy. When she saw it, really saw it, the realization didn't break her. It hollowed her out. She learned that the man she built an empire with had stolen more than just a song. He had stolen choices, futures, and 17 years of honesty. She asked me what I wanted. Money was her first instinct. It always is for people who have too much of it. "I want my name," I said, "and I want the truth." That scared her more than any number I could have named. Truth has consequences money can't soften. Exposing him would collapse careers, reputations, and the carefully managed distance between power and accountability. It would hurt her too. And she understood that. After a long silence, she nodded. Not in agreement with me, but with reality. What followed was brutal. Lawyers, investigations, stories spilling into the open. Others came forward. Patterns emerged. What began as one stolen song became proof of a lifetime of theft. Her husband fought back with threats and offers, but when that failed, The system he trusted turned on him. I lost my job. I gained nothing resembling peace. But I slept better than I had in years. One evening, my daughter asked why my name was on the news. I told her that sometimes doing the right thing is loud and messy and unfair but necessary. She smiled and said she was proud of me. That was enough. I didn't reclaim the past. That was never possible. But I reclaimed something more important, the right to stand behind what I created and to refuse silence just because it was convenient for others. The city kept moving, the towers kept glowing. But somewhere between the noise and the power, a truth had finally landed where it belonged. Thanks for listening. If this story moved you, please consider subscribing for more.